with you? You might want Dr. Tracy, Dr. Broscom. I have some patients who said, my friend told me about you, and all of us said, we coming to see you. And so I believe that's God, and I tell people that all the time. I said, there's no way but God. Yeah, he gets all the credit. So let's talk about stress management. What is stress? You kind of had a really great introduction to it. So stress is the body's response and our mind's response to environmental triggers. It's a part of our everyday life. It's how we think, and how we react to it can change how it impacts our life. So there's good stress, right? So that's the stress that you need to deliver a baby. It's a stress that we use when we're exercising and working out. We need good stress if we're running from a dog or a bear, something that's trying to harm us, right? But then we have bad stress. And bad stress is stress that can lead to chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke. Bad stress also can cause mental health issues like we were just discussing. And bad stress also, unfortunately, can lead to early death. I see it all the time. It's not something I was ready to see. People younger than me dying from heart attack and stroke with no risk factors, right? They don't have diabetes, they don't have high blood pressure, and a lot of it is related to stress. Stress is also known as our flight or fight response, right? So like if we are in danger, it'll let us know we should run, flight, go somewhere, or we should fight instead.
Right.
So that's how we refer to stress in the medical terms. So now we can talk about cortisol, right? Cortisol is what we call the stress hormone. And cortisol is released from our brain, and it affects many of our organs. And where cortisol is too low or too high, it can cause a lot of havoc on us. So we're going to start from the top down, right? So what does too much cortisol do to our brain? It can cause difficulty concentrating. It can cause anxiety. It can cause poor sleep habits. People say mental fog. They say, I feel like I'm not myself. Fatigue. Those things could be related to you having too much cortisol or too low. And so that's one of the ways it affects our brain. As we go down, it affects our heart. Like we said, it can cause high blood pressure, high cholesterol, increased risk of stroke, increased risk of heart attack. My twin sister knows. We just had a classmate we went to high school with. 3 days before this, he passed away from a heart attack. He was a correctional officer, and according to his mom, he was having chest pain. And he went to the hospital, and they wanted to keep him because they said his arteries were blocked.